Hello and welcome to the Blank Canvas podcast. First, I just want to say a really huge thank you for everyone who's been listening, supporting, sharing and all that jazz. We really, really appreciate it. But if you are brand new to this podcast, first thing, where have you been? But we're episode 16. This podcast is all about being creative, conversation and having a good time as well. So I'm Nina West.
And I'm Jennifer Noor.
And let's get started. So we always like to start with a bit of a game. Let's break the ice.
Yes.
And today's game is some hypothetical questions.
Yes. Should I start?
Yeah, if you can.
Okay, I've got one.
Okay.
If you could learn any one skill in the world without trying, which skill would you pick?
See, what I was thinking of is really like pathetic because what would it do for my life?
What skill?
But I really love dancing, and when I was younger, I used to like be part of like the kids' dance clubs and things like that. And recently, I've been looking at lots of things on Instagram of people doing dance, and I just really want to pick it up again, and haven't got time. Like proper like street jazz, ballet, like body popping. I just want to be able to do that. But then I'm like, if I could learn one skill, shouldn't I like connect it with something that's like mass brainy or something like that?
Well, whatever makes you happy, actually.
Yeah. I can do two-step, look cute in the club.
That
I wish I could do like splits and all that jazz, like Broadway, showroom dancing.
Yeah, I hear you. That's a nice one, actually. Yeah.
I really want to go dance lessons, but it's just the way my schedule's set up right now. Not right now.
Fair enough.
What about you?
I would learn to write code. I think that would really help me in my business.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Lots of stuff without having to pay people.
That's a big one.
Have you got one?
Yes, I do. Okay, so this one I saw online. You're walking in a forest and you found a black suitcase inside holding $1 million. Actually, £1 million because we're not American. And a piece of paper stained in blood with a single word, don't. What are you going to do?
I won't then.
Really?
I'll leave it, yeah.
That's cool. Now, I probably would do the same, but then I'd be like, but it's really £1 million.
I don't know where that money came from.
That's true.
I don't know who it belongs to. I don't know if the owner will come looking or how they'll come looking.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll just continue my day as it was.
That'd be bye-bye £1 million.
You could work to make $1 million.
I know, but it could just fall on my lap if it wanted to as well. No, I get that. And the whole word don't would like just creep me out. I get scared so easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit weird about things that come too easily.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a bit suspect. I have one.
Yeah.
If you could ask your future self from the year 2050 any question, what would it be?
I'm scared of... A part of me doesn't want to ask... whenever I get things like questions like, what would you ask your future self?
Yeah.
I'm like, all the questions I would ask my future self, it's almost like I don't have faith in God in it. Like, I'd probably ask my future self, like, do I really end up married with children? Am I happy? And it's like, a part of me is like, I probably would ask that question, but I should just trust God that is what's promised for me.
Fair enough.
Because that's what I care about.
Yeah. Funny enough, I'd actually just ask, what should I do? How should I move, basically?
Oh, yeah.
Because my future self already knows what's happened. So there's a lot of insight. Yeah. So asking if I get married or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Me knowing that it's not going to change anything.
See, you smart.
Everyone's smart. I don't see the point of asking that question. Because it wouldn't change anything about right now.
No, that's so true. There's me going, am I going to
But I guess it would make your, maybe if you're anxious about it, then maybe it'll calm that down.
Yeah. But then I think you've asked the right question because I should really just trust God in the process.
Yes.
And that's why I wouldn't ask it. But then it's like, what else do I care about? That's a hard one.
So what you care about is getting married?
It's not that. I guess I'm just so like, maybe in my head, that's...
Your priority?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Probably need to think. I probably need to rethink about my priorities.
No, I feel like everybody has different priorities. I don't think you can tell people what to prioritize.
Okay.
It's so subjective.
I have one. If you could live a life completely with no judgment, knowing that nobody will ever judge you, say anything about you or nothing like that, nothing, like you can just live your life freely.
Yeah.
What would be different about your life now?
Do you know what? Absolutely nothing.
Oh, go girl.
Because my mom's really kind of taught us to just do what makes us happy anyway.
Aww.
She's such a rebel, so I don't hold myself back anymore, to be honest.
That's nice.
Yeah. What about you?
That's nice. I think I'd be more of a hoe, to be honest.
Interesting.
I think I would be. I think, yeah. If it has like no judgment, and I didn't have like my conviction from God, I'd be so much more of a hoe because, like, company is fun. But yeah, that's me.
This is true.
So as you know, me and Jen are both really, really creative and love to stay plugged into creative things. And so we have this section in our podcast called The Exhibit, where we like to highlight some creatives who have inspired us recently.
Yes.
I'd actually like to plug my friend at this very moment in time. Again, I'm boring people talking about poetry all the time. I've just been working on things a lot.
Is it another poet?
I've been working. All I've been doing is poetry.
Mina, after this one, I think you should bring some new people.
All I've been doing is breathing and living and breathing poetry right now.
I get that, but come on, we want to give people a diverse view of people.
No, but it's the exhibit. It's like, who has inspired me recently?
So what are we on? Episode 15?
16.
16, sorry. How many of them have not been poets?
A good, 7 of them.
Are you sure?
Positive. People, tell us your thoughts. But I can't help it. Like, literally, when you're thinking about it, like, okay, who's recently inspired me creatively? What have I been looking at? That's the hard thing. I want to be authentic.
No, I get that. Be authentic, but okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I won't make a thing of it.
No, I'll try. I do try.
It's fine, don't worry. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah. I'm always honest to who's inspired me recently. And who's inspired me recently is actually a friend as well. Yes. She's a poet called Sarah Luco. And she released...
Oh, yeah. I like her work.
Her work is freaking amazing.
Really good.
Her work is freaking amazing. And I've just been looking into lots of poetry books and her books on my shelf. So I was like picking it up. And some of her words makes me so emotional, like slightly makes me why am I such an emotional being, but in terms of relationship. And she talks about her journey and her breakdowns and things like that. And there was one piece, it's a very short piece. It basically says, you know, it's time to leave when you look inside yourself and can only find him. And I was like, you know, when you give yourself so much to somebody that you don't even know who you are anymore. Her whole book is freaking amazing. Her first book is called Firstborn.
Yeah, I remember that. She's so talented.
She's so talented. So yeah, guys, I know I say poets a lot, but it's because they're so lit. So she's my exhibit for this episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's your exhibit?
So I mean, we're gonna speak about When They See Us Later, but really cool director called Ava DuVernay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it properly, but she directed that series, and she's just so talented.
She's so talented.
I watched her interview on The Breakfast Club, and she was just speaking about the amount of effort that she put into making this show, how she sat down with the victims, how she even reached out to the people on the other side, and how she really got to know the story, like in and out, before she put this together, and how much it takes to put it together. She's just so cool. Love her.
Her work is ridiculous. 13th was amazing. We'll
She's
talk
so
about
talented.
when they see us later. But yeah, it's too raw and real that the emotion is everything, and she has a core objective. When they see us, as we're talking about. Oh yeah, we'll talk about it later because.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it later. But she is really talented, and it's weird. She also taught me something when she was speaking in The Breakfast Club, because they were saying how she listens with intention. I was thinking, what does that mean? And it was like, basically, when she's speaking to someone, you know, most of the time when people speak, they're listening to respond.
Yeah.
And she was like, she is just natural within her from her upbringing or whatever, that she just honestly just listens to the person and takes in what they're saying. And I like that she said that. Yeah, she's really cool.
Yeah, I've heard people say that, and that's a skill set I'm trying to learn. For so long, I realised, I have what's the conversation diarrhea, if that makes sense? Just blurt out, constantly talking. It's problematic because then you're not getting a chance to actually connect properly with another person and understand their point of view and even yourself grow.
Yeah.
That's why she's able to create such amazing stories.
Honestly.
And actually tell them and
she really
be raw
takes
and
it
honest
in.
to them. So yeah. So I wanted to start the conversation with, a couple of weeks ago, I saw something so funny on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So there was this woman, she was Nigerian, she posted a picture of herself in front of a mansion, like with a caption saying something along the lines of, after a really bad divorce and all this stuff, I've changed my life around and been able to buy my first house, whatever. Then, this was a post in Nigeria. The man who actually owned the house found the woman, and then like when she was taking a picture in front of his house, collected her and made her like it was
Collected her?
It collected her in terms of like, he was like, is this your house? It was filming her saying, is this your house? Why are you lying? And then the guy, she was just begging, saying, I'm sorry, sir, please allow me. He was like, tell everybody this is not your house. You do all this stuff with the Instagram, blah, blah, blah. The post was one of those comedy posts that, like, comedy Instagram that posted it.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking into the whole, like, this whole fake it till you make it concept. Because then I was, just got trapped in the whole of Instagram, went onto her page, and her page really is like, she's living her best life on Instagram, partying up, all this kind of stuff, celebrating her birthday. There's people on her latest comments that were saying something like, why did you have to lie, and it was just interesting because a lot of people, when they are trying to make it, especially in the social media age, there is this kind of feeling of, you know what, sometimes you just gotta push it till you make it. And
okay, this fake it till you make it that you speak of, this lady, what does she do for a living?
I think she's just trying to be a socialite.
So she's aspiring.
Socialite.
Is she putting any effort into actually being wealthy?
It looked like on her page. Because
this fake it till you make it, I see fake it till you make it as you're actually aspiring and working towards a standard, and then you're taking that energy and you're using that energy to kind of propel you, where you're pretending you're already in there.
Yeah.
But social media is not really a fake it till you make it place. It's a complete just fake. Like, people are lying and pretending they own and have things that they don't have. Yeah. My sister, someone's stealing her pictures lately and basically taking all her dinners, holiday pics and stuff like that, and using it on their Instagram. And she liked their page and everything, like trying to, like, show them that she knows who they are. But
she hasn't baited them out completely.
She hasn't brought them out like on her page. But the whole fake it till you make it, I don't know. I don't think it's fake it till you make it. I think it's just being fake.
I agree. It's more of just in terms of, like, as I saw it, I was like, why did she feel she had to push it to that moment in time where she's actually faking the mansion she supposedly lives? But it just got me thinking about, what does the concept of fake it till you make it mean, and what does that mean even for myself and things like that?
Well, for me, I use it more towards, like, for example, if I'm in a bad mood, I will smile. I'll do this really extreme smile. Okay, if I'm like someone's really made me angry and I feel like I'm going to get angry, I'll do this really extreme smile and I'll just think happy thoughts. That's me faking being happy so that I can be... That's why I don't connect with her concept of fake it till you make it. Because the whole idea is you're making an effort to be where you want to be, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. So, yeah.
That's what I think as well, because I think it's all about, like, the law of attraction. So if you kind of have this perception of, like, I want to be happy or I want certain things, you kind of aspire to the area. Obviously, the example I've given is a very extreme...
No, it's common. A lot of people do it.
It's a very, very extreme kind of method around it. But I think there can be positives. I don't want to sound so twisted. I think there could be, like, positives around kind of aspirations and kind of showcasing that a little bit as well. The aspirations that you have.
So give an example.
So... I'm trying to think of an example of... Actually, no, I don't think that's the right example, actually. I'm thinking of very, like, obvious celebrities and all that kind of stuff.
No, just, so
if I think about obvious celebrities, where Kim Kardashian kind of started off, she was... she does not design, but she kind of helped clothe, like, certain celebrities and all that kind of stuff, and would live around that lifestyle and all that kind of stuff. So people had this perception of her, like, always begging to be around certain people and all that stuff. People have said that in the past, like her 10 years, 15 years ago. That's how she was. But she pushed it. She wanted a certain lifestyle. She had the connections and she pushed it. And now look at her now. I don't know if that's, like, makes sense.
No, because with fake it till you make it, I guess that would apply to her if she was pretending to have more than she had. If she was pretending to already have the life. And I don't even know what she was like.
Yeah, true.
Maybe she was. I wouldn't be surprised. But
just connected around to the right people and things like that.
That's the thing. I feel like the fake it till you make it kind of statement has kind of been stigmatized by the whole materialistic side of it, where people pretend to have more money, more wealth than they have. But I feel like you can actually apply it to other things, like, for example, when I said your mental health and your emotions, but also your confidence. Sometimes you might not feel great about yourself, but you just have to like tell yourself you're beautiful and blah, 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 all that positive stuff until you believe it. It's kind of like affirmations in a way.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a nice point. Sometimes I feel like in the creative world, sometimes maybe I'm just kind of taking it to another completely part of the conversation, that you kind of have to fake it till you make it. I remember seeing somebody in the creative saying that sometimes you just got to push it and show you that you're doing more even if you're not, because to get work you have to be looking like you're doing work, and it's just that push around it, which I always a bit struggle with, because I'm just like, people can always see the fake, but it's not particularly fake. It's just kind of every opportunity you get, you push it and heighten it.
But how would it be faked? How would a creative fake it? I'm trying to understand.
I don't know, say like something like I'm trying to think of something. You talk about going to a show and make it look more lit than it really was and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I see.
You know?
I don't think that's that bad.
Yeah.
I feel like it's different for creative / businesses, anywhere where you're making money. I feel like you always have to appear active, because if you don't look active, there's something it does. There's a kind of message it gives.
If it's not on social media, it doesn't happen. That's the
kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer, but I don't think it's right to pretend you have more money than you have, because you're not really faking it till you make it. You're stunting on people. You want to make people feel bad about themselves. So it's just a bit, you have to ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, it was funny, Reggie. I need to re-find it. I was like, oh, that's her.
And she was Nigerian.
Yeah, that's what. Oh my!
dear.
It just got me into this whole pigeonhole. Like, what's going on? What is going on? At the end of the day, the classic line is, what's in the dark will always come out in the light.
That's the thing. So there's no point pretending.
Yeah, there's no point pretending. It's just interesting. It's just, even just like little things that come out, like you get people who are in couples but want to push on Instagram, and then later on you realize that they weren't even like feeling each other, and then they break. There's no point of lying, you know?
I just don't see why there's this massive thing where social media is just the standard is so high for everything. It's not even a real standard anymore.
Yeah.
Everything from your business to your relationship to your marriage to your work, they all have their struggles. So I don't know why we have to pretend everything is rosy all the time when it's not.
Yeah. Although in the same breath though, I remember someone saying like, okay, say if you're in a relationship with a guy and you post it on social media, all that kind of stuff, and then you guys broke up, and if you've got a following, do you have an obligation to tell people you're following? I personally think no. Like,
you don't have an obligation, but people will ask you.
Yeah, people will ask, definitely. What I'm going to show you is my highlights and my lowlights is for, if I choose to show it, it might only be in a way to kind of support other people, to let you know what, I go through the same thing as well.
Yeah.
But it's not in a way where like you don't need to know my life if you don't need to know it.
I don't know. When you make yourself accessible on social media, you've kind of put your life there for access. So you can have that attitude and feel like you don't need to know my life, but people will ask and they will talk about you because you put it out there in the first place. So,
well.
Yeah.
One thing you mentioned really nicely is about kind of when you're, you know what, this is not fake, the whole fake it till you make it statement around your mental health. So like you mentioned, if you're not in a good mood, you'll smile. Yeah. That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've used that tool. I think my face just shows crap.
There's something that smiling does. I don't know. I haven't really researched it like scientifically, but there's definitely something your body releases when you're smiling. Yeah. So I think it's more happy hormones.
Might try that. I might try that. Kind of, I guess the hard thing, we've talked a bit about social media as well. Everyone kind of following this status quo and things like that. It's quite hard to kind of know what your individuality is within that and how you embrace that as well. Yes.
I feel like sometimes it feels like there's a way that you have to be in order to conform, whether it's your opinion or how you dress or who you date or your mannerisms or just anything. And I feel like individuality, especially with social media, I feel like we're getting lost with individuality. Like everybody looks the same on Instagram. It's just I don't know, I feel like, you know, we should kind of bring it back in where people embrace their individuality more, kind of thing.
Well, one thing though, the whole embracing people's individuality, sometimes I struggle with that because sometimes I feel like I'm just the same anyways. Like if I'm trying to be individual, obviously I'm not the same as anybody else. I have my own individualness about me. But it's like people find it struggling to find hard what's special specifically about them, do you know? And that's my hard point. I'm like, actually, what is special about me? So when I want to embrace my individuality, I'm a bit like, I don't know. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to go about doing it.
I don't know. I feel like a big part of embracing individuality is knowing who you are.
Yeah.
And knowing your strengths as well. And also your weaknesses. I think those are important questions we should ask ourselves. I feel like once you ask yourself those questions and know your answers, you kind of have a better understanding of what makes you unique and what makes you you. I'm sure like in a group setting, you can already see what you do that's a bit different to everyone else.
Fair enough. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Let's talk side chicks and how you know you're a side chick. How you know you're a side chick.
What accent is that?
I don't know. It's not an accent. It's a song.
Oh, right.
It's not even a song. I'm just making it up.
Yeah. How do you know you're a side chick?
It's been a very long time. I've sadly been in that pool before in my life when I was young. And my signs were like really obvious signs. Like one, you never get to go on big dates or like proper dates.
Yes.
That was always taking the mick with my life. Like, I was young. I think I was like 19, 20. But you know, you're like, I should know better because all we're doing is chilling at his house. It wasn't Netflix at the time, but it was something around a DVD. And it's just like, wait, why can't we go out and watch a film? So that was one of my big learnings. The guy don't take you out. Why are you there, hon?
What else?
I don't know. Maybe like kind of like shady behavior on the phone and things like that. Although I feel like if you're the side chick, they don't care. But just shady behavior.
What do you mean by shady behavior?
Things like you make plans for a certain day, then all of a sudden he's cancelled it. Or you know when somebody's acting shifty around their phone, like they won't ever leave their phone by you or anything like that. It's not even that you're going to go through their phone, but it's just they've got some next protection thing around it. It's a bit
like they take it with them everywhere they go.
Yeah, it's like, well, what are they doing? It's a bit, and then even little things like I won't lie, I don't entertain crap anymore, but you know when like time with them is limited, like, okay, you make plans, but they only like give you like a limited couple of hours, and you're like, wait, I've been in this position for a while now, like, dude, don't want to spend proper time with me, or the texts are really limited, you haven't really got their attention.
Yeah, that's definitely a sign that you're a side chick. I also think, texting, I feel like it's a bit weird what's weird is when you text them, they're very distant with responding, but when you're with them, you can see they're very active on their phone. I find that very, very odd, very strange behavior.
Imagine someone doing that to me now.
I feel like if he doesn't show you on social media after a while, that's a sign.
Ooh, how do you feel about like a partner showing you on social media?
It depends on how long you've been together. If you've only been together for a short amount of time, then obviously you don't want to show it. But I feel like, especially after a year, you don't have to put their face on.
I think I'm a side chick after a Lord of mercy.
It happens though to a lot of people.
Ooh.
So yeah,
I get emotional after finding out I was trying to check after 2 months. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. So I think if after a year you've been dating each other and he's still not really showing you, or if he's not even introducing you to his family and his friends, I think especially after that time period, that gets a bit questionable.
I think, not being able to see around family and friends, boy, that for me is more important than social media, only because some people are quite like protective over their like what they showcase. And I mean, don't get me wrong, if they've showed every other girl and friends like that, I'll be like, nah, something's not right about this. But if I was like, haven't met any of your friends or family, I just think that's weird.
Yeah. Or if you haven't been to his or her place, after a while, that's a bit weird. Unless maybe they live at home, but then they could be lying. So I find it odd if you haven't been to their place. Yeah. And then your intuition will tell you you're a side chick. You know you're a side chick. You're just pretending.
Yeah. No, I look back at the days when I was a young girl. Still young, but like when I was younger. And like, you know, your intuition's telling you something, but you're like, no. But
I know.
You hold on to that one single lie they tell you, like, you know, you're the only girl for me. Like, I'll think about you all the time.
In
just
denial.
been busy. You'll just hold on to that one time. He said that to you 3 weeks ago. Like, no, I know he cares about me. I know he's there for me. It's okay. I'm not no side chick. He's just busy. The reason why he hasn't answered his phone right now is because, I don't know, he's playing FIFA and it's busy. I shouldn't be so annoying and pester him too much. The lies men will allow you to believe. Hey, sorry, it's just ugh.
That's so funny.
No, it's just flashback. Sorry, I'm good now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good now. Really am. I really am good now. Trying to think if you guys have any other like kind of signs you know you're a side chick, like drop us a note. I might play this into a game.
Yeah,
this
would be a good game for the week.
Like signs you know you're a side chick, because boys get involved too. Like, what do you do to these side chicks?
No, what the hell?
No, what
like
do
give
they
each other
do?
tips?
No, not give tips, but like, you know, expose. So when it happens, girls will know. You know, expose the thing. I've got a text.
What was that?
I've got a text. Okay, no. I've got okay, no. Wait, the way Yolanda said it the other day, Yolanda said it like...
She like screamed, didn't she?
I was like, raw, girl, a bit excited. Love Island is back in town. And I just love it. I don't care if people want to cuss it out saying it's trash TV. I personally love Love Island. Are you a Love Island fan?
I am, but this season's a bit boring.
I actually am enjoying this season.
What are you enjoying about it?
I don't know. I think it's just like seeing emotional men act way too crap from the beginning. I love the whole if two Beyoncés and one Rihanna came out, I would still choose you. I love the lies. I'm loving the drama, even though it's crappy drama.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I think it's crappy drama. I'm sorry.
To be fair, I haven't watched season 3, I believe. I never watched season 3, and everyone tells me that's like the latest one and all that kind of stuff.
Was that the one before the last one?
Yeah.
Who was in that season?
Kem.
Oh, you didn't watch Kem's season?
No.
Yeah, that's why you think this one's good.
But I have watched season 1 and 2 and 4. Is the season 3's not on Netflix?
Well, no, obviously Love Island's exciting. I think it's going to take a minute before it really gets juicy.
Yeah.
I guess we just have to give them a week or two to get to know each other, form their alliances and their enemies and stuff. But it was interesting. There were some characters I did like. I like Yewande. She's really cool.
I like her, but I'm not like I'm loving her off right now. I think she's a beautiful girl. I just thought there was bits with her where I was like, the whole her thing and her and Michael. She's like friend zoning him so hard. I'm like, oh girl, like, you know, give him a chance, be open to it.
But she doesn't like him, but she's supposed to.
I think she does like him. She's just trying to like protect herself.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He seems like a sweet guy though, and they're both like scientists, which is really cute. But they kissed, didn't they, when they had like the challenge?
No,
so...
that I saw. I was like, okay, girl.
Watch this space. What do you think of Molly May?
I have no thoughts on her right now. I'm not gonna lie. I have 0 thoughts on her right now.
I like how she came in. She just came in and knew what she was about and like got cracking, which is really good.
What did she do? She just went to the hot tub because she had to.
No, she was very assertive with talking to the guys, unlike the rest of the other girls there.
I know. One girl, I am actually feeling her energy so much. It's Amber.
I knew you would. I don't like her.
I'm feeling her energy so much. It's just like, initially I was like, no, she's a little bit rude. But I like how, I can't remember the guy's name, was it Joe or something like that, was trying to talk to her. And she's like, I'm no one's second best. Like, what, you shouldn't flirt with us? No. Okay. I'm really loving her energy.
She's a bit of a narcissist, but let's wait and see.
Oh, yeah.
She's very about her.
The whole thing with the glasses, like, I can pull off any glasses. Can you now? You can't. I was like, you're actually rude. Things like that, she's rude. But I like the fact that she knows who she is and she's just like...
individuality, yeah, fair enough.
She's just like, like, I don't know why you're trying to talk to me now. Like... what is this, an interview? Like, just get to know people. I think she's the one probably being quite real in terms of all these guys are really like, no, I really connect with her. I want to be like with her only. And we're like, it's been 2 days. Chill there.
It's true. They're
It's
all getting
literally
really
been
serious.
2 days. It's not that deep. When that was it, who's the kid that was crying?
Which kid?
Over that blonde girl.
What, Joe?
Yeah, that was too much. I was like, that's why I found it funny. I was like, no, he's gonna be funny. He was doing too much. Somebody like that would scare me.
Yeah, they're comparing him to that guy from You.
From
Have
what?
you watched that show called You? That creepy guy that was stalking the woman.
Oh.
And he ended up like killing her or something.
Oh no, I don't watch scary things because I get really scared. But I was,
Yeah,
you was on the.
He's acting very creepy. They're acting too. It's just too much. They've been there for a week.
Possessive.
Calm down.
It wasn't even a whole week
down.
yet. Yeah, Callum left, but I didn't remember him, and I betted he would leave as well.
Yeah.
I only feel for him because I feel like he's not going to get many like deals or commercial deals when he leaves.
It's the first week. You can't.
No, but like whoever left last time got something because she was like connected to that whole Adam drama threesome, so it was interesting. Whereas this person, I just don't think no one's going to remember him.
Well, he didn't make an effort to be interesting. What can we say?
I think he tried. He just got stuck with Amber, who he tried to like be friends with her at least, and she was just like, I don't even care about this boy.
I don't know about Amber. I'll see. I'm not judging her too quickly, but she comes across a bit. You know me. I don't like people who are too much about themselves.
Yeah. So is she
But
your
we'll
worst
see.
then?
Not my worst. It's too soon to say that, but I didn't particularly like her when I was watching her.
Yeah.
It was the first scene at the beginning. It was like one of the first episodes where one of the girls felt a bit insecure about if her coupling was secure.
Yeah.
And she was like, because obviously you're all beautiful girls. And then Amber was like, yeah, I know. And I was just thinking, it's not everything that comes to your head you should say out loud. You're an idiot. But we'll see.
The first episode, she pissed me off, right? Because like she was like, "You're 28. You're old then." I was like, "Someone collect her."
How old is she? 20?
Yeah, I was like, "Someone
okay.
collect her." No, but she's like, "So you're old then?" I was like, "Someone collect her." I didn't like her, but it was the more thing of when who's that Fury's brother's name?
Tyson Fury's brother?
Yeah. It's more thing when he was talking to, she was talking to him, and she was just like, "No one second best. I don't know why you're trying to make this into." No, it wasn't him that's doing the interview, but those guys kept on hooking her a second, and she's just like, you don't have to only focus on me, get to know everyone. I don't know why you guys are making it like this. Like, I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And I thought that was what the show needed.
Yeah.
But instead you had this one girl crying, Lucy crying because she didn't know what to pick, deciding to sleep on the couch. And I was just like, girl, you're doing the most. Where's your, like, the loyalties aren't even like that strong yet to be thinking that way. But then again, I'm not in the villa, so I don't know what it's like.
Oh, I can't imagine what it's like. It's a holiday, but at the same time, it's like...
Yeah. So something really funny, just wanted to mention, did you see that ASOS was selling weaves now? Or wigs now?
I saw. What did you think of it?
I mean, everything falls... Like, everything that we do always ends up being and things like that. People were saying the hair looks proper synthetic and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, is it synthetic hair? Or...
the hair costs about 50 quid,
Oh,
so the one I was seeing... so I wouldn't be surprised. I just think it's quite interesting that like wigs and stuff are becoming that accessible. And I think ASOS is doing the right thing. The demographic who want that hair from ASOS will collect it still.
It's interesting that they started with wigs instead of like extensions and wefts and stuff. But
I think everyone's going to wigs now just because.
Really?
Well, that's what I'm doing because I haven't had a weave in so long. I just like to be able to have access to my hair.
It looked nice though.
Yeah,
they marketed it really nicely.
I might purchase one just for fun.
Yeah. Get student discount. Find a student.
Oh yeah, find a student. Any students around? Please?
Send us your codes.
Send us your codes. So finally, the Beyhive got checked a little bit.
I don't know if they can be checked. They're a bit I don't know if unhinged is the word to use. They can't be controlled really, but go on, tell us more.
No, obviously there was something where Beyonce and Jay-Z were watching a basketball match and because cameras are always on Beyonce, any kind of facial expression she has might be elevated more when they post on social media. So there was a woman who was having a conversation with Jay-Z over Beyonce. And I'm sure they were all having a conversation, but Beyonce's face in that moment in time looked visually annoyed.
Yeah, she was definitely annoyed though.
And it's okay because Beyonce's a grown woman and can handle herself. And I'm not sure what that conversation was about. She might not have even been annoyed at the woman. Might have just been annoyed at something outside of that.
It looked like she didn't like the woman talking over her though. That's what it looks like in the video. Even though we now know what she was saying, it still looked a bit like...
What was she saying? I don't even know.
She was asking Jay-Z what drink he wanted.
Oh wow.
Her husband is the owner of one of the teams.
Yeah.
So she was just asking him.
So I don't believe Beyonce was annoyed at the woman. I feel like it might be something different.
I mean, she might be annoyed at the woman. There's no. She could be annoyed at who she's annoyed at.
But the main thing is, it's just that one little clip and the Beyhive going bzzz.
She got death threats.
Wow, are you serious?
Death threats.
I don't feel like that's a real Beyhive.
How do you mean?
Like, I feel like the real Beyhive, like myself, respects Beyonce. No, she can handle herself. Won't cause drama like that with bees underneath things. I feel like it's just trolls.
Yeah, I feel like with everything, there are always extremists, and the extremists seem to get more attention.
Yeah.
And suddenly represent the group.
Yeah.
Obviously, loads of people. I'm Beyhive. I love Beyonce, but it's always the people who go putting the bees under people's comments and stuff. They're the ones that are somehow recognised as Beyhive, which is annoying.
Yeah, because all they do is bee.
I think it's a little bit much. I'm not gonna lie. If somebody really did wrong Beyonce, I would feel like writing in their comments too. But I felt like
you protect your queen, be queen bee.
I felt like that particular situation was so petty and so ridiculous. Like it was so silly, and they blew it out. They blew it up so far. I get that they love Beyonce and they don't want Beyonce to be upset, but she's not your god. Like, come on, like
yeah.
we need to calm down a little
100%.
bit. It's just Beyonce gets angry. Beyonce gets offended. People fuck with Beyonce. She's a human being like everyone else. Like, you can't assume she's not there for you to protect her as well. Like, she's fine. It's sad that her publicist had to come out and be like, listen, this is an echo what the love that they always cultivate. What are you doing? So it's just, come on, stop it.
No, but I'm happy her publicist did, as Beyonce's PR team is on point.
Yeah.
They know the best way to address it.
Yeah.
Beyonce's just like, I'm not going to address it, but publicist, if you can, kind of set the precedent of what I think about these comments that been had under these women's like page.
She stirred it a little bit though, because the night that happened, I think the next day she posted pictures, and then one of the pictures was the video of her kind of sitting there, and I just thought you're a little bit stirring it. So do you want your Beyhive to go crazy? Because I don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't even read much into it. I just like seeing posts about, okay, the publicist had to say this, women's got death threats. I was just
she had to disable her comments. I'm not sure if she disabled her account. I don't know. It's just a bit extreme, man. Come on. Over a drink.
A drink she's trying to help somebody else
with. It's funny.
So, a lot on the timeline that I saw this past 2 weeks actually, is about When They See Us. So, have you seen it?
Yes, I did see it. It was very, very sad. Have you seen all of it? You haven't seen all of it?
So, I've tried to watch it.
Okay, what are you up to?
First episode.
Okay.
But I really struggled.
For those who haven't seen it, it's a show about 5 young boys that were arrested around 1989 for raping and basically seriously harming a young woman that was jogging in Central Park in New York. They were wrongfully accused and basically tried and convicted and spent a very significant amount of time in prison before they finally came out and the truth came out. And following their story, it was just... Episode 1 to 3 follows the whole group together. Actually, they leave out one person, but they follow the whole group, mostly anyway. And it's really sad. You're just like, this is so wrong, because you see them as children. They're vulnerable. Children should never be questioned without their parents or guardian near or with them. That's like just so fucked up. And then the police in that situation were quite corrupt. They were, putting words into their mouth. They were coerced into confessing to something that they didn't do. Yeah. And that made me really sad as well. I didn't get the fact that, without spoiling it, the bit when they were saying, if you say you did it, we'll let you go home. I don't get why they thought they would go home after confessing to rape.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand that bit.
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, I haven't watched it. I've just seen some of the interviews in the background and things like that. They're targeting young boys who actually some of them did mention they actually did come from good families and all that kind of stuff, but they're still young boys and they might not have had the education of how that justice system works or have the right lawyers behind them and stuff like that to know what the right thing to say is. And so they were like, oh, we can bully you into saying and coercing you into something. I think so. I'm so an emotional weak person. The scene that really was hard for me was the fact of I think the kid was 14 years old. Apologies if I'm spoiling it for people, but it's like factual stuff what happened. His mum was ill, so his mum couldn't stay with him in the police centre, and they were like, oh, is it Christmas? We can now talk to this boy and kind of get him to coerce him and then bully him. And for me, that broke me so much. And one thing that Ava does so well, like I was just stopping and staying, and I was like, I might cry. I'm really, really struggling to view, specifically, don't know why, but young black boys struggle by a system that's meant to be protecting them. I'm really struggling to watch that. I wanted to see, not just because of the hype, because I think Ava does like work and stuff like that to kind of get what will come out of it. But from that moment, I was like, this is going to break me, because where I'm seeing more and more young black boys or black people or people of colour being abused by the system, I'm not actually becoming desensitized by it. I'm becoming more sensitive to it, and I'm like, it's just breaking me quite a lot. Like, you'll see it and I'm just like, I'm gonna cry. Like, this is too much.
I know.
This is too much.
You just have to imagine how they feel, the people who actually went through it, and their families who... This is the thing, because, you know, when you see people getting convicted and stuff, you just think about the criminal and what they did or potentially did or didn't do and how they're going to prison. But you don't think about how this is a serious... It's a wave effect. It affects their families, it affects their friends, it affects everyone around them. It's like they died but they didn't die, and it's like, it's such a tragic... And for that specific case where a lot of people knew they were innocent, it was just it was really hard to watch. And the last episode was by far the worst episode.
That's what my sister said as well.
I cried like 4 times. I had to pause it and just have a cry, get out and just keep watching, because there was a particular character, without spoiling it again, his name is Corey. And, you know, these boys, they all went to the park at the end of the day. They were a few hundred yards away from where the actual crime happened. So that's why the police were able to try and, like, pin them on it. But this guy, Corey, was not even there. And that's what really upset me, because he wasn't there. He actually has an alibi. He was in a diner with his girlfriend. His girlfriend can testify. Why did
How
he
did
have
they
to...
get him?
When you keep watching, you see how they just put... It was the most...
He literally went there to kind of help out his friend. I saw that.
But they took advantage of him, because it's not even just that he's 16. I don't know if he's special needs or what it is, but there's something that he's experiencing that's making it, that kind of was a barrier to him being able to explain himself properly. And they completely abused that. And it's just... It's crazy. Because I feel like in a court now, if you questioned young kids without their parents there, they'll laugh you out of the court. You can't present this as evidence. It's not possible. So it's just crazy how... And then there was no DNA matching. There was nothing.
It's quite funny. I've only been in a court case one time. It was when I was like 16, 17 years old. This guy was racist and in my boarding school, and his defendant, so his lawyer, I wasn't the one on stand, it was the guy being on stand. They were trying to do like an ASBO, so he couldn't be in the city, in the town I was staying in anymore. Like,
wow.
He was basically racist, his lawyer was like to me, but you said you can't stand these wiggers. And I was like, I said what? He goes, yeah, you said, God, man, you can't stand these figures. I was like, if you know me, you know I don't talk like that. I was 17. I was 16, 17 at the time. And my headmaster had to be in the room with us. So he had to be my acting head of. But it was comical because this lawyer was trying to say that I said something that I hadn't said to provoke somebody. And I was literally like, no, this is actually a joke, right? Like, where did you get this from? And you're trying to not look rude because you're in the court and you're in front of a judge and all that kind of stuff. And that's a really small thing, but I was thinking like, no, these lawyers will just randomly say crap that you said that you did not say and try to push it on you that you said it. It was just because I wasn't the person on stand. I just had to like kind of speak and say witness of what happened and why the fight broke out and all that stuff. But it was comical. So when I see the clips of what happened in the court case saying, you said you did this, da 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 da, I believe it, because they will say anything to push it in that, get a jury or a judge to believe their story part.
But also, it's kind of the other lawyer's job to like counteract what he said. So if you can't afford a good lawyer, like that's again something that worked against these boys. It's just sad, like the whole thing.
What pained me as well, again, I should definitely watch it all. I'm really struggling. I'm not gonna lie, really struggling. Was beginning with the character Linda, or the person Linda, sorry.
Who's Linda?
Shouldn't she the prosecutor? The actor?
Oh, that blonde lady.
Yeah. So the thing what bothered me was that she said every single black boy, and obviously it's taken from a docu-series, but every single black boy was a possible rapist and all that kind of stuff. So because she narrowed into them so much, she completely missed the real culprit. She completely didn't look into that. And this whole, obviously, trying to be a support, trying to help trying to help people with sex victim crimes and all that kind of stuff. If you really cared, you would have covered all your bases. Facts. These boys were in the park. They are a possible route. But DNA, all this type of other areas, if you're a good freaking prosecutor, you would look into that. But because you said you didn't call them young black boys, you didn't even see them as children. You saw them as animals. She said the word animals.
Oh, yeah, she did say these animals.
So all these things, as I was watching it, was just like, I was just getting so like, oh, I don't know how much I can watch this because I'm breaking down. Like, you're not seeing this young innocent boy, and you're always innocent until proven guilty.
You see, that's how it should be. If there's a case, you should want to pursue the truth. You shouldn't want to just close. That's the thing. They were just trying to close the case.
Yeah.
And I think in business, in finance, in marketing, in all these other industries, you can have that mindset of just wanting to close what you're dealing with quickly. But once you're dealing with people's lives, I'm so sorry, you can't do that. It's not fair.
And I feel like, from the fact that there was no proof or evidence or that kind of stuff, they just want to land the boys in it. I feel like they knew these boys were innocent. The people behind it knew the boys were innocent, but they were probably thinking, because they're black boys, because they're animals, as they wanted to call us, they're probably going to commit a crime anyways, so get them in through now. And that's it. I was not gonna lie, I really do want to watch it all, but I'm really like, I would just be the person that's just crying constantly. Like, there was a knot in my stomach that was just too hard to shift. I was just like, this is too painful. Trying to pit the boys against each other when they've never even met each other before. That's
what's crazy. When they were doing the interviews, they were telling him, say Anton did it, basically. He mispronounced Anton's name. I was thinking, so it's so obvious he doesn't even know who you're talking about. Why are you still pushing this? It was just so... Oh, and then even in the prison system itself, the way some of the guards were moving, it's just like, there's this thing, you haven't seen it, so I'll just explain to you. There's this thing where they want the inmates, because the inmates get to go and buy like sweets and chocolates and stuff like that. They want them to give them the sweets and chocolates in exchange for, I don't know, protection and stuff like that. And I don't get why sweets and because I'm thinking, surely the prison guards live in their house.
Yeah,
they have a Tesco near their house. Why are you valuing the sweets and chocolate? I don't understand. Am I missing something? It was so weird. It was just like, there was so much corruption, and you're just like, it makes me sad. I don't know why it shocked me, but it did shock me that people in those positions were behaving that way. But then you have to think about it, like, everywhere you go, not just even in the police system, everywhere, every industry, I can't think of one where we can't find corrupt people or people who just don't do the job properly or who have a weird moral compass. It's just, it's so sad. It's really sad.
I just wish the boys could have been boys.
Oh, that last episode, oh my gosh, if you don't want to watch any of them, watch the last one. That one was just, oof. Corey really went through it. He really went through it. And that show, they only showed us a snippet of what really happened. You'll never really understand like how much they went through. So I feel like you should watch it. I feel like we all kind of have an obligation to watch it because they experienced it. They really felt the pain.
I want to watch the documentary. I was watching their interviews.
Yeah.
And documentary. So I know the story and I've heard like a bit of it. It's just, I was really struggling because like Ava did such an amazing job that my emotions were just everywhere and it just paused me and
Great actors. Yeah. Great directing. And then also what was interesting for me was, what makes me sad about the whole thing is these black men went through what they went through, and as much as it did definitely impact them, but it really, the people around them that were holding them up was mainly the black women. And that was just very, very interesting for me to see that. One of them, the dad just ducked off and left, and it was just all on the mum to support them. And some of the mums don't even have...
The mum and the dad and that son, I believe they're not even talking to each other still.
Are they still... Oh, really?
Oh, I saw an interview.
That one, the one I'm talking about, I think he passed. Oh. That dad's passed. Which one are you talking about?
I saw an interview like years ago they did when they got out. So the dad who basically said to the boy... Just say you did it. Yeah,
I think he's passed.
Oh wow.
I think so. Maybe I'm getting. I don't know.
That's so sad. I know the mum passed. I was watching an interview that came out like 2013 or 14, and he was like, "No, I don't speak to my dad. My dad like gave up on me. He made me tell a lie. I told my children
it's just
that the last time I lied, I ended up in jail for 6-7 years for a crime I never committed. So I think that was quite sad as well, because like I said, they targeted families that didn't have the right level of support to know what the right or wrong thing
That's
to
the
do
thing.
is.
And a lot of these families were kind of, I won't say failed by the men in the families. Okay, so him, for example, his dad completely docked. The Hispanic guy.
Yeah. His dad didn't even stay with him and I think because he had work
It was
to
just
go
so
to.
weird. And when you watch it further, when he finally comes out, his dad didn't support him the way he should have. And it was just like, I was thinking, I got frustrated at the law system, but I also got frustrated with the men in the show. I was just like, what are the men doing here? They're not supporting their children the way they should. One of them, the dad's not even there, full stop. It's completely his sisters and his mum just supporting him. And it makes me sad that this is where the whole strong black woman thing comes from. Because it's like, it's always the women that have to come in the end and support you and help you. Because where are the men to be found? It was so many emotions watching that show. So many emotions. It was just, I felt so frustrated. It was just, what can we do? And I don't like constantly looking at the past because it's important to know our history. But
I think that is still happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. They are still happening, and it's like, what can we do about the future? What can we actually do to change this?
It's hard.
That's my question.
One of the things I definitely need to educate myself a bit more on is the UK system, because we've had a lot of stuff that happens in the US. Don't get me wrong, corruption happens in the UK. Facts. It's just because the US one's more like documented and put on TV and put on things like that, I feel like I know it more, and I keep thinking to myself, that's crazy. And because I'm seeing some of the same skin tone as me as well, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this to our people. But then in the UK, I'm like, does it happen in the UK on that level and all that kind of stuff? It makes me,
I don't know the history, but based on what I've seen on the news and stuff, I don't think it happens on that level.
It doesn't. Yeah, I know it doesn't happen on that level, but then people be like, oh, but the system's still corrupt. It's just hard.
It's still corrupt, but I feel like it's harder to get away from it
Yeah.
here because, first of all, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Even on the police station, everywhere. So it's kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say it doesn't happen. Of course it happens everywhere. But the way it seems to be happening in America is just, you just think about the history of it. Yeah. First of all, you're in Africa and you are enslaved, brought to a land that's not yours, treated like, it's just a lot.
What's I'm trying to say? The mental illness that would have been passed on to like generation, the mental generational crap happened to the families now, and then they have a structure when then there isn't a man involved and all that kind of stuff. It's
a lot, It really was sad to watch.
I really want to watch it. I just really struggle, Jen. I really can't lie. I'm really struggling.
But also, so thinking about Americans, the racism in America compared to the racism here, did you see the She's Gotta Have It and that whole thing with...
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Did you watch that? I've forgotten what happened now.
No, basically, the main character, the girl, I forgot her name, she is having a sit down with this guy. He's from the UK. He's an African man, but he lives in the UK or something like that.
Okay.
And then she's just saying things like,
they were both talking.
Yeah.
Madness.
Both talking a bit crud, like talking about how black people don't. Why do you guys always get certain movies and all that kind of stuff?
You guys being
cheaper.
Black British.
Yeah, because you guys are cheaper. Yeah, something about British actors being cheaper, and how you guys don't really know what struggle is and all that kind of stuff. And it was annoying because it was Spike Lee, and it's just like, you mother, like, we're meant to all be one. Why are you doing this?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like the black diaspora, we don't need to be hitting on each other right now. You should know better. And I like that John Boyega kind of went trash. I think he retweeted something saying trash. It's that conversation's been happening, especially with actors. Like, for the longest time, the main person in the black acting community from the UK was Idris Elba. Love me some Idris Elba. Love him. But recently, we're having John Boyega come through, Daniel Kaluuya, all these kind of different actors come through as well, which is brilliant. But now, like, there seems to be a bit of animosity. I can't remember which actor said it years ago.
It's Samuel L. Jackson. I remember him saying
how
something.
y'all cheaper. And it's just like, dude, that's...
Are they... The thing is, I don't know what the standards are in the US. Yeah. But Game of Thrones alone will show you that the UK is booming with some seriously talented actors. Like, one of the best. And I'm not even someone who's into acting like that, but our actors are really good, and it just happens to be that
we're theatre trained and all that kind of stuff.
Hollywood is in America, so the natural thing to do is to go there to pursue your dream.
Like, if you've got the right job, like, what is for you will be for you.
I'm trying to be, not playing devil's advocate, but trying to understand where they're coming from. Maybe they might feel like they're not getting roles because of that. But technically speaking, even when a British person goes to America to play a role, they play an American accent anyway. So what's the British got to do with it? It doesn't.
They were all right
It doesn't
for the
affect.
role.
Yeah,
They were right for the role.
it's even easier for an American person to play that role because you already have the accent. We have to put it on.
I always say what is for you will be for you. Why are you watching the next man thing? Especially someone who's the same colour as you. Like, it should be all about embracing each other and pushing the brand and all that kind of stuff. Even if they are cheap and all that kind of stuff, that role is for them. Like you mentioned, the jobs are out in America. The amount of films and stuff they create in comparison to what they do in the UK. If I was an actor as well, yes, I definitely want to be part of films in the UK.
Thing.
But the budget, the Hollywood budgets in comparison to our films that get kind of, get financed by like things like the BBC and all that kind of stuff, and then don't even get shown on the scale. The difference is, Hollywood's one of the biggest film industries, and then I think next is Bollywood. I don't know where Nollywood fits in.
I think it was Nollywood.
But the British film sector is really, really small. Like, it is really small. So if you make a film in Hollywood, you're seeing it, your film's going internationally. You're not only just UK based. So if you want to kind of broaden your reach, that's what you would do. There's still a lot of American films that don't even hit like an international market, but the jobs are out there. Why? Yeah, I just think it's annoying when black people try to come for black people. It's like,
the division is really sad, and especially coming from someone so talented and as respected as Spike Lee. It's just a bit sad.
He is talented.
He's really talented.
He's really talented.
No, that's a fact.
It's just, it was a bit ignorant comment, personally.
Yeah.
It's a bit of an ignorant comment.
But then that kind of makes you realise that I don't know who was watching, and they said that, stuff like that's quite it's dangerous to say things like that, because you're kind of influencing people to now discriminate who they pick for roles, because you're making it seem like now people have to be a bit more conscientious about making sure they employ more Americans than, say, British people for movies. So
but they do, though.
They do anyway, but like making sure they keep it that way.
So there's like 5% of like UK like black actors come through, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, what's going on?
I know, it's so sad.
So it's time for Let's Sketch It Out. This is the fun part of the episode. If you have any dilemmas, questions, or creative plugs, please feel free to email us at theblankcanvaspod@gmail.com.
Yes.
Title, Let's Sketch It Out. I've got a mini dilemma here for us to read.
Okay.
So, I have been dating my boyfriend since a little over 3 years. He is a divorcee. He got cheated on, and I am one too, again, cheated on. I started dating my boyfriend when I was going through separation, and we used to go out drinking very often. Now there have been times, twice actually, when I drank a little too much and I did things that I regretted the next morning. Slow danced with a stranger, flirted with a waiter. And this and his experience in the past kind of threw the trust out of the window. What did she say? He says he is trying to work on the relationship, and I need to prove that I am worthy of his trust before we move forward to anything more serious. He recently stumbled upon my chats with a childhood friend. Oh, girl. This guy has had a crush on me since forever, but is now married and a kid, but continues to flirt. My boyfriend was very upset to know that I chatted with him. Casual text from my side. I had shared a couple of my photos. I've also chatted with the childhood friend about my boyfriend, and have also sent him our photo, and that I never ever mentioned this friend to my boyfriend. My boyfriend feels that I may be interested in this guy. I am not, but he doesn't believe me. He says that this incident has put a dent in our relationship, and that he needs some time off, and has asked me to think things over. I have nothing to think of, as I am certain that I love my boyfriend and he's very precious. How on earth can I win his trust back?
But what did she do to lose his trust? Because she danced with someone.
Yeah. But you know what it is? Because like she starts in the beginning that he'd been cheated on in the past, and so she's been cheated on as well. Yeah. I think he's just got some insecurities. My only thing is, like, I feel like she's done nothing terrible. Yeah. I'm just reading it through kind of thing. But knowing that somebody really has insecurities, because the whole even like found text off my phone. How did he find the text off your phone unless he's going through your phone? Let's not lie. Chatting to somebody who has a crush on you, she's playing with fire. She's not done anything bad, but she's playing.
I feel like she's not ready to date. I don't feel like she's ready for a relationship. I feel like she should just date and have fun with it.
But
you're just divorced. Like, what is the rush?
She literally, to be fair, she started talking to him during the separation. Doesn't say how old she is either.
Even that is a bit much. You know, some people, they just don't know how to not be in a relationship. Like, they just always have to have someone there.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be left with their... I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like... I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it feels like they don't want to be alone. But you have to learn to be alone.
Yeah.
You came here alone, you're going to leave alone. It's so important to learn to be happy with your space.
I agree.
You learn so much from it. I don't know. This sounds like she's not ready for a relationship. Because why are you texting guys anyway? You're clearly flirting with a guy.
Yeah.
And you're dancing with people and doing... Because I don't think you're ready to commit, and that's fine.
But she wants to know how she can win his trust back.
I don't think... Okay, I don't know.
Because she believes that she is ready to be. I get what you're saying, but it sounds like she's so... Like, my boyfriend's so precious to me.
If it was that precious, you'd be texting other guys.
And she was also cheated on as well, which is interesting.
Yeah.
They're both... I mean, one thing that's sad is that he definitely has insecurities in their relationship, and it probably has stuff he needs to work on himself. Because imagine a guy telling you you're in a relationship with someone and like, you need to prove that you're worthy.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know these lines, you know.
I feel like I mean, I've already stated my point. I feel like because she's recently divorced, I don't think there's anything wrong with her just spending time with herself and finding happiness within herself first.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the guy needs to do that as well, because he's been hurt.
Yeah.
He's obviously not healed yet if he's still...
Yeah.
Because this is a lot of pressure he's putting on her to... I don't know what he wants from her.
Do you think also like the concept of misery likes company? They both came from a divorce, from a cheated situation. Maybe they kind of relied on that together, and now she's kind of living her life. She's like, I'm texting people, I'm having fun, I'm getting drunk. And he's like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like, I have trust issues.
I don't think his misery has liked company. I don't think they're miserable, but I feel like they're healing in different ways. Her version of healing is getting out there. And I'm not really sure what his version of healing is, but I don't know that she can earn his trust back, because his distrust doesn't really lie in her. If you dig deep, it lies in something else that happens that he needs to heal from.
Yeah, that's true, actually. So, that's true.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs. What do you think of it? What do you think she should do?
I'm in similar mindset of you in terms of it sounds like I feel she's playing with fire a little bit, but I don't think she's done anything mad wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why are you texting this guy from your childhood friend that has a crush on you? Why are you sending him pictures? Why can't you be trusted when you're drunk and you're flirting with people? Like, why are you like that initially? But then I also be like, when a guy tells me like, you have to prove to me, I'd be like, maybe I'm just a stubborn character. I'd be like, prove what? Like, what do you mean?
I mean, she's broken his trust, so he will feel a bit like, you know,
yeah,
I don't trust you.
I know, just me being stubborn. I'd be like, prove her.
But I don't know.
Excuse?
I'm always like seeing it from the woman's point of view, and based on what she said, it sounds like she wants to have fun. And again, why is it so stigmatized for a woman to want to have fun? Just go out there, have fun, date multiple people, kiss multiple people, just be happy. What the hell?
I'm really conscious because I feel like she said she loves her boyfriend. She's put she loves her boyfriend, and he's very precious, and she wants to win his trust back. So probably just respond to her question: how to get his trust back is just spending quality time. I know she probably needs to spend time with herself, but if she wants him back, quality time with him, to kind of like just let that build naturally and organically again. Go back to the reasons why you both liked each other in the first place, what connected you guys together again. Hear him out on the issues that he's not happy with. As long as you're 100% comfortable with who you are personally, there might be things he tells you and you're like, actually, I don't agree with you on that one. That's not something I'm willing to compromise on. But hear him out, and if there is opportunities for you guys to compromise in that area, by all means. But first off, like, if you are recently divorcee or not recently divorcee, like, get comfortable with yourself. Know who you are. Be confident, so that when any guy comes in, there isn't no...
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think she can win his trust back. I feel like he's already insecure before she met him, and he has to deal with that.
He's like, Joe. Joe was like, I don't think I can trust you right now. I was like, wow. Sorry, not to
People do project their insecurities though. Like, it's really... Obviously, she shouldn't have spoken to that guy. But I mean, think of it from a girl's perspective. How many times has a woman found a man texting someone and then getting over it? Like, come on. She didn't sleep with anyone. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was Let's Sketch It Out. Again, if you have any things you want us to get sketched out, email us at theblankcanvaspod@gmail.com. So, scratch out. Yeah, my scratch out is, it feels really pathetic and vain. And like, I'm really annoyed at Instagram right now.
Oh, why?
It deleted one of my posts and has not explained to me why it's deleted its post. They do not have like a customer service email system for you to email them and get a response back why this thing was deleted. So it's just deleted.
Which post?
I was performing. I was just simply performing. It's a picture of me saying I was at this gig here. And because I've like laid my like pictures out in a certain way, it's just kind of thrown it out.
Ooh.
I'm really irritated. So I was like, how do I report this? And if anybody knows how to report this, please tell me, because they just deleted it. No explanation, nothing. And I'm really irritated.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's never happened to you before. I've seen people talk about that. Oh, why did Instagram just randomly delete my post or not letting me like things? I'm like, oh, Instagram can be irritating sometimes. But now it's done it to me. And I'm really irritated because the picture just went. That's
very strange.
Just so Instagram, like, come on, like, help a girl out. Just try to promote my poetry. Like,
Right.
why are you doing this to me? Oh, so irritating.
Very irritating.
So yeah, it's a bit pathetic that I feel like I've had Instagram as like my scratch out a couple of times now. I need to rethink this platform in life. That time when they like completely changed their algorithms, and the time when they changed their like order of things, the time when they weren't working. It's the only social media I use as well, which is a bit pathetic. I need to like diversify into like others. So this was kind of fun. About a week ago, me and Jen were recording with the 1-2 podcast.
Woo woo.
And I believe that episode is out as well now. It's the episode 16, right?
Yeah.
I hope it's the one that says the blank canvas girls are on it, innit? Look out.
Yeah.
We'll definitely put like the details on our socials as well. But we're talking about some interesting things about like kind of a different skew on feminism and things like that. So definitely check it out. It was really fun hanging out with the 1-2 pod. They're really awesome, fun conversations. Just kind of keeping you guys in the loop. What's going on with me? I've got a show on the 21st of June performing somewhere. So if you're interested, just look up my page. Just look up Mina West stuff. Hopefully you can get it there. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to the Blank Canvas podcast. You can catch us on Instagram and Facebook. If you use Twitter, please use the hashtag #TheBlankCanvasPod. Keep the conversation going and flowing. This podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube. No longer on SoundCloud. And our next episode will be out on the 25th of June.
Yep.
Big thank you for listening. I have been Mina West.
And I've been Jennifer Noir.